Sometimes karma really comes around to bite you hard in the rear end. If there is any real-world example of how when you win a war, you shouldn't be a total sore winner and humiliate the loser, it's gotta be the aftermath of World War I. Sure, the Allies had reasons to be pretty miffed at Germany. The death toll in the stratosphere, the whole unrestricted submarine warfare thing, not to mention the fact that the Germans wore those creepy, spiky helmets. And so the Germans were made to sign the Treaty of Versailles and its accompanying war guilt clause. It's basically like a bully beating you, then making you sign a paper saying the beating was your fault, and then taking your lunch money. The Treaty of Versailles mandated several things. The Germans had to pay all damages from the First World War, disband their armed forces to a point, and give up certain areas of Germany to foreign occupation. The entire old form of German government, run by a king-like figure known as the Kaiser, was overturned in favor of a democracy known as the Weimar Republic, which is a kind of funny name because, honestly, it just sounds hilarious. The German economy was already in a bad way because of the years of warfare. Now, with high taxation, the need to pay back millions and millions in debt, the economy plunged. The Weimar government responded by printing just more money, an astoundingly bad idea that caused inflation on a horrific scale. A 50 million mark bill was worth less than 10 cents in America. It was literally cheaper to burn the money than to buy wood for the stoves. A story was told about needing a wheelbarrow of cash to buy a loaf of bread, leaving it alone for a moment, and coming back to find that someone had stolen the wheelbarrow and left the cash in a pile on the ground. And then the global depression hit, and if everything hadn't been totally mired in suck before, it certainly was by the late 20s. So to sum up, most Germans were poor and angry. It was a perfect environment for someone charismatic and more than a little angry themselves to step up and convince all the other angry Germans that maybe it was time for a change. A young man and former soldier named Adolf Hitler was first contacted by the German army after the war and assigned with infiltrating and spying on a possible subversive political party the Weimar Republic was kind of worried about, the National Socialists, or Nazis. These are basically just a few guys in a pub muttering that Germany hadn't really lost the war and that the soldiers had been sold out by crafty and corrupt officials and bankers on the home front. Hitler might have been sent to spy on these guys, but he kind of liked what he was hearing. Soon, Hitler embraced Nazi ideology and rose in the ranks to become a leading figure. A gifted demagogue and orator, Hitler told the German people what they needed to hear, and he gave them someone to blame for their poverty: the Jews. Over several elections, the Nazis gained seats in the Weimar government, though they never gained even close to 50% of the vote. Nazi rhetoric of fear and anger was gaining ground. In 1933, the Reichstag, the German government building, burned to the ground, allowing Hitler a great opportunity to convince the Germans that the country was safer under Nazi leadership and that such crimes wouldn't happen if the government was led by a strong man. Appointed, not elected, chancellor by the Weimar president, Hitler soon usurped the powers of the presidency and the war ministry, effectively becoming a dictator, the Fuhrer. The Nazi campaign against undesirables began with the T4 euthanasia program, designed to rid the fatherland of mentally and physically disabled individuals by using gas trucks as mobile killing stations. The campaign continued with Kristallnacht, the Night of Broken Glass. Unleashed under Hitler's orders and under the supervision of SS Commander Reinhard Heydrich, the Jews had their businesses, homes, and synagogues burned and looted. Secretly, Hitler rebuilt the German war machine and then systematically began to reconstruct the German Reich by annexing Austria, Czechoslovakia, and all the land lost to France. Scared of Allied reprisals, the German Army High Command prepared a plan to assassinate its own Fuhrer in order to prevent a war. Due to Allied appeasement, those plans are never necessary. In September 1939, Hitler orders the invasion of Poland, and the Blitzkrieg is unleashed.